Welcome one and all to today, the only one. No, listen. It's the only one. See, today's date might occur last year, it might occur again next year, but today is the only one. So that makes it a good one. But we're gonna take it a step further. We're gonna make it a great one. I am your host, Cassius, always blessed and honored to be here. So glad that you have joined Aspire. See, Aspire is normally just online, but today we are live at the Tall Rabbit. So thank you, Blue Jacket Tall Rabbit, for allowing us to be here in this space. Today's conversation is a great one. Before we get into it, we're going to take a moment to respect the pause. And we're going to do two things. First thing we're going to do is a prayer. Now, if prayer is something that you're not accustomed to doing, we invite you into that space now. But then if you're like, I'm still not ready for it, please feel free to mute us and join us again in a moment. So let's go ahead and get into this prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord. We thank you for today. We thank you for this opportunity. We ask that you open up our hearts, our minds, and our ears to what it is that we're about to receive. Just continue to bless us right now in these moments and continue to bless us and guide us on the rest of our journey. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. Amen. And that second thing that we're going to do is we're going to look around the space that we're in, be it that we're in this room or we're online somewhere, and we're going to look for vegetation. And when I say vegetation, I mean like trees, plants, something that has life in it, something that was started right here as a little seed, but grew to something way bigger, because that is a testament of life. You know, it's a journey, it's a process. We start here as a small thing and we grow to something bigger. So there might be something around you that you might see, and it might not be in this moment. Maybe it's later that you have to acknowledge this tree, because trees don't start as big as they are. They start small. So that's just what I want us to call into practice today. Whenever you get a chance to, be it right now or later, please just watch the trees. So today I'm excited. So excited. We have two phenomenal community members with us. And guess what? They're both named Al. So our conversation is titled, "We Gonna Be All Right." So I'm gonna take this moment to allow them to both introduce themselves and just let us know who they are.
Well, my name is Albert Harrington, and I'm almost 71 in July. So I've lived a long time. It seems like it went by awfully fast, but here I am to testify to the fact that you can make it. You can make it to 71. And most of what I'm going to tell you today is the truth. Not all of it, but I'll work around the lies if I can, as smoothly as I possibly can. It's for me. It started in Maine. I grew up in Maine, so we'll pick it up there. A lot of country living. A lot of country living initially.
Thank you, Al. Thank you for being here.
My name is Albert Woodbury. Albert C. Woodbury, as a matter of fact. I was brought up in Savannah, Georgia, but I left at 17 years old because I've never been nowhere. I just had a sister, just me and my sisters, and I never experienced a lot of, country stuff. Because I was brought up in Savannah, it's a golf town. I was a caddy as a kid, and I wanted to be a mechanic. And on this corner, I worked for many years for Kelly Cadillac, emergency technician. And that's what I finished doing mechanic. I was a mechanic in this city.
Yeah.
And had a good life. But I went to New York, and I was brought up in New York City. And that's all I know. I don't know any farming. Because I never knew it. My sister was the oldest. And I didn't know. I just got tired of being home, a young kid. And I thought I was doing something, but I left the best down because I was born in Savannah. Because I never seen nothing, because I only had one sister. She's 2 years older than I. And like I said, but this town has been a good town to me. I've always had every kind of car you could ever want. I'm a registered technician. I had that stuff it don't even bother me now. At my age, I got the same old Lincoln that I bought new right in this corner at Kelly. And I'm still driving that. He's picking up today. But God has been good to me. But I had a stroke in '86. Fast life. Because my dad was a bootlegger in Georgia. he made stuff, and I didn't drink till I got older. But the devil knew how to throw cranks in the road. So he knew it, so I became an alcoholic. But you couldn't tell it because my actions, my dressing, all the materialistic things, I had them all. And as a matter of fact, he's blessed me now. I just turned 88 years old. And I'm blessed. So I've seen it all, done it all. And there's nothing to brag about, but it's just telling my story. So I'm not, it's not showing me nothing so materialistic. Forget it. I'm dealing with a young baby now, which is 60 years old.
Well, you both said, your upbringings, maybe not here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, but from another place. And so what was maybe one of the things from your youth that kind of shaped, your learning path today?
Well, for me, it was living in a family that was large. It was a big Irish Catholic family. I'm the oldest of seven, by the way. And my father was a tough character to live with. And it really formed and disformed my life. So as much as that was an issue, of course, I loved it. I loved my father as well. So, in these confused, ambivalent situations, life gets complicated around hard issues. So it all came to an abrupt impasse at one point, and as a result of him once again being rather violent with me, he had noticed that I had grown up a little bit, and so I broke his nose. And from there on, the story gets there are a lot of twists that turns after that. I spent several years in and out of foster homes as a kid. And that was generally a very positive experience. I know there are a lot of children that really are traumatized, even more so by those kinds of experiences. But I was quite lucky. I really had a chance to be exposed to some fairly functional family citizen relations. And that went a long ways in kind of restoring my faith. Otherwise, I don't know where I'd be. Sure. So that was those, turning points, experiences, growing up in a violent, dysfunctional family that was full of contradictions. And from there, leading into this other pathway, I really left home when I was just a child, and made my way from there. So there'll be more of the story.
So as you guys have approached different, obstacles or challenges or even just setbacks, what is your, how do you look at it for an opportunity to grow? Well, yeah, please.
Okay, well, I'm gonna repeat. I think having those experiences in the foster homes just established kind of a foundation, baseline of belief in the goodness of humanity, kind of a general idea in the mind of a child who was ready to, live a pretty hard life. I was pulled away from that, and through those experiences, I've been served very, very well ever since, knowing that that in the heart of many people there's a lot of compassion and empathy that can exist and can be shared and given to, especially a child that's growing up in the world. Need some guidance, some models along the way, and if you don't have it, or if all you have are the crappy ones, violent ones, if that's all you have, you're going to be struggling. You're going to struggle a lot. So I think having those positive models really have served as a foundation upon which I built.
What about you, Grandpa? What approach or how you approach challenges or setbacks as a learning opportunity?
Well, I was, like I said, I had a good life. See, it was a real good life, but to me as a child growing up, it didn't seem to be good to me because certain things we had already, we did, just me and my sister, like I said, she's 2 years older than me, and I am. But certain things we couldn't do, and it was out. No, I didn't go see after 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and just I was on it until I got tired of it. So I got married at 17. I married a sweet school sweetheart, high school sweetheart. She was 2 years old. She was 19. So we thought we was in love. So we had the 2 boys. so we had the 2 boys. And matter of fact, one of the boys, so my sister, she married a GI, because my home's Savannah is a GI town. And she married a guy that's in the army. And when she left, like I said, I thought I was grown, so I left, went to New York City. And so when you went to New York City, you've been all over the world. And I was a country boy, well, I wasn't that country because most of you golf was in Savannah. So if you're looking back at my car now, it's this golf club, because I know golf. But I don't get me wrong, I ain't challenging, But I just had a good life. And then I got in, came here because I followed my sister. So the guy that she married, he was shipped out. So when I came to Fort Wayne wasn't like that. Well, I'd never been nowhere, but it wasn't like it now. It was just, it was nothing but the opposite. It was, Fort Wayne was just different. But I've been here long enough to grow up in Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne's a nice town, but it didn't have nothing. And so after I got here, I never been to any kind of facility that holds, because that already kept on me, my sister. I knew what to do and what not to do. And so it was a good life, but I came out here, and so Kelly sent me to different school because my dad was a mechanic down south, but he's also a bootlegger. So that's how God came in on that, because that's all I knew. But I had a very good life, and I just said it. And then I've had two boys, and matter of fact, the youngest 40, he's 50. My youngest 50 now, and the oldest is about 70. So I've been here ever since, and I have no reason to. Well, as a matter of fact, the other one, the second one, he wants to, he'll be out there another month or so. He'll be out here to visit me. So they worry about me,
So is that one of the ways that you stay connected with family? How do you two manage to make sure you're staying connected with family?
Well, I stay with family because, like I said, I was brought up, I never had a big family. I had a big family on my mother's side. But on my side, my dad's side, it's a mix. Because I do know this, what part I don't know, but I'm Indian descent, whatever that means, but I'm just Al to me. I don't know about all that. You know all this, who's this and that. All I know is Al, and I know God has anchored me down. Because you couldn't tell me nothing. and you better not touch me. Always ready to go. You know this. So but as I got older, and had the 3 boys, and I've always loved girls because my sister raised me. It's for, until I got out here. Then I took over. Cause we got boys, big boys. So I had to show the boys, don't get funny with your butt in there. Just be cool. We'll be all right. And so I enjoyed my life. I had a good life. And I had a praying life. I can see now what my mother, my grandmother, that old lady wasn't to play with. She certain things we just didn't do. And it stayed in my brain. And I just enjoyed the life. But like I said, God allowed me to see 88. And believe me, I don't feel like sometimes, damn, I can't stand it. I didn't feel like I wanted to move. But I got up. Sometimes you have to zip this up because I'm ready to go. Keep on talking, But other than that, I had a good life. And I learned a lot. And Kelly, well, Tom Kelly. See, everybody thinks Tom Kelly. But see, the dad was a farm boy, as I learned, out on 24 and 14. But the one that had the shop down there, he was the son. But see, he's the Mac Miller. So anything you see Mac Miller on, don't be surprised what Jim Greb will have because Mac Miller Park or that's the granddad. So that's where the money came from. And I worked on that corner all those years, right on the corner, right, couple of blocks right on the other next door. And I had a good life. Still got a good life. Because he blessed me to see it in. And now I'm working with young boys, younger. And that's why another thing I tell you. You ain't nothing cool with a fool, so don't try to get cool with me. when you misuse the young lady, because I brought her with the sister. And she married her young men. Because when he brought her here, she never been nowhere because the sister's brother. But he worked the harvester. See, because the only thing he had was mind about the harvester and well, I forget the other bit. But anyway, it wasn't too many places we could get a job. We had a job, right? I put it that way. And I've always worked. And I remember when I was on the corner, Kelly used to tell her, Al, I smell that stuff on you. And it wasn't that booze, and it wasn't no the stuff they got there now. You don't know what you take. But see, all I knew was alcohol and corn, with moonshine. And so that's all I ever got into. But all this other stuff. But this city here was, like I said, back in them days, because see, we migrated from Chicago. I'd never been to Chicago, Detroit in my life. I got picked up here for driving because my first wife, she was Caucasian. So naturally, but I noticed that everybody that came into jail was beat up. Because see, that's why I said be slow to use this. Because people don't like you know way. If you run this too much, they get jumped on. But they couldn't figure out why he coming out here all the time. But he ain't got no bandage on him. Like I said, I'm a big joke now. But I always had the same amount as I had for everybody. And that's why the Bible says be slow to speak. So I didn't open this too much, but I didn't take no matter. But they knew I was. And so I left that, like I said, leave it to be. So that's what I done. And so I'm saying that to say this is that this time has been a good life for me. And everybody know me. And I've always worked. Never been to jail till I got here. Because, back in the days, this is getting, like I said, like I said, be slow to speak, but I wasn't slow to speak. And this got me in a lot of time. Because I have my own now. You couldn't run up any kind of game on me. Still can't run up a game on me. But I used It's a principal thing. So like I said, this has been a good town. But when all this work, and everywhere I went, they sent me to school. Like you driving, what you driving, he driving. I can fix it because you look at me because I'm an old man driving an old car, but I'm up on everything they drive today. And you don't know how many I have to school my sons down. But yeah, that's it. I don't care what you got, man. I know how to fix it. Because what God give you, devil can't give. That's why but I don't get into it because it's hard with this old man getting down, trying to jack. If you notice that your new car, what kind of jack they got? Flat jack front up. See, they had all that years ago. The mobiles came out, everything front wheel drive. That's beauty. So like I said, it's just, life has been good to me. And I share it with everybody. And everybody tell all us young folks. Because if Ford can make a brown Lincoln, green Lincoln, white Lincoln, black Lincoln, purple Lincoln, but if you go get parts, you gotta have a serial number. Which we have a serial number, this is Jesus. He made men as men, women as women. And you have respect for everybody. And you just have to have respect. And teach every man to you because God assigned every course to us what he needs us to do. Treat everybody like you want to be treated. And like I said, be slow to speak.
Yes.
You learn more by listening and walking the walk. See, everybody can talk the talk, but if you walk the walk, God will direct your path. And he let you stay in your lane. Because he didn't, see, when you get out of your lane, you telling God he made a mistake. You don't think it, but that's what you're doing. But he don't make mistakes. So like I said, and I'm enjoying my life now because I see by my daddy, my mom always get on my rear dad, but he's stopping the speed, working on somebody, helping somebody, what they call it, because he was a mechanic. But it wasn't a mechanic job today. You talk it today, you got to know it. Because they making it. And you driving stuff now. They got different names. But people will be surprised at what you driving. That you put one, it's like they put us down. When people, humans down. So I drive a Lexus. You drive number 10. You know what I'm saying? But the name, my name is Al. And they put on Big Al, but I don't learn that. That's really the mistake. Like, that ruin you, know what I'm saying? But that Bible says, man, take the heart. So thee, so you know I thought I was big, but I had to slow it down. Because God put me where I wanted, right here, helping young women, young men, how to be men and men, and help people, and making life sure. And so you can say, just be happy.
Yeah. No, that's good, Grandpa. You said a lot of great things there. Some of the key things that I kind of took away was, that the Bible verse is just, slow to speak, slow to speak it and taking that time to listen. I mean, and you sharing, Grandpa, we had to do that. We didn't get a chance to, oh, let me come on, say something. We had to take this time to listen because you've gone through things that we haven't even experienced because of just, your journey in life. Another thing that you said that was really important is that acknowledgement of individual. You said that there's Lincolns, there's Lexus, there's all these other cars, and they're made by manufacturers. We have one manufacturer. We have one creator, which is Jesus Christ and God, is what you said, and acknowledging that we're all individuals. Even though we're talking to two Al's and they're both juniors, these are two different Al's. In my conversation with them a couple of weeks ago, I was privy to the opportunity to understand that we sometimes have this biases of older people and we just call them older people. Whereas I found out that Al here is 71 and this grandpa Al is 88, and there's still a level, differences and even in that. So it was a good opportunity. Al, would you like to share anything about, your connection with your family, how you make sure you stay involved?
Well, the main thing, when we started this conversation, you kind of asked, were you asking what key pivotal experiences affected your life? And with regard to family, it was birth of my daughter that happened. It was as usual, accidental, and the marriage didn't last, but the daughter did last, and she's still chasing me and torturing me as we speak. We're having a pretty good experience. She's 48 years old. So, but in the very early days, I was a single father for a little while, and then I moved to California after my daughter and my ex-wife moved out. That was a bit of a discussion that happened, but anyways, they ended up moving out to California, and I followed them out there, and I lived in California for about 35 years, and from about 13 years old, my daughter and I moved in together. I became a single parent again. So, it was those are the bare bones of the experience, the connection. What I would have to spend days talking about is just the day in and day out experience of raising a teenage girl by myself. And it was fun, and it was not fun, and it was a lot of experiences, but it helped mature me, I think. I mean, I was a father quite young, but once I had the day in and day responsibility of both of them, infant and a toddler, back on the East Coast, and then again later on in the teenage years. It made me think very carefully about what I said. I was much slower to speak, and to think it through how my words were going to affect this little human being coming up through. So, as much as I hoped I modeled, presented a father that was responsible and caring, she reflected back to me big time how I was screwing up, and how to learn from that as well. That's part of the process. Communicating back and forth to each other and working it out. And because I grew up in a family where it's chaotic and violent, I knew, at least I was one of those people who said, no, I'm not going to do that. Other people are affected differently. But I said, no way, no way. So that was kind of the horizon I reached for. I knew that wasn't going to happen. So, as much as I remember many a time running out of the house with my hand in my mouth, thinking, okay, I gotta go out, I gotta cool down, come back, and we'll work this out. And we have, and it's still going on as we speak. In fact, it happened this week once. So, and she's a lot older, and it's there's a whole new chapter that's unfolding there as well. So it's been an experience for sure. But probably another final pivotal experience that really had a strong change in me was at 27 years old. I had been living in San Francisco, and I had been doing part-time work here and there. And I just had enough. I just said I better do something with this. So I went out to the community college, San Francisco Community College, and signed up. And that began a whole series of years going to San Francisco State, eventually getting a degree in early childhood education. Guy doing that in those days too. This was way back in the early 80s. So I got that from San Francisco State, and worked for many years in early childhood education, and became a supervisor along the way. after a while, kind of got burned out with it. So I moved on. I also became ill at one point when I was about late 50s. I ended up with this bizarre condition that it took 2 years to figure out. So I was out of commission a little bit at that point in time. That was another pivotal experience as well. But going to school, working full time. My daughter at that point was living with my ex-wife in Lake Tahoe, so I would see her quite often. But those were sort of the school years. Pressed forward on that for a long time, and had a lot of experiences getting through that. I mean, I had no real model to follow there. It was just kind of hit or miss, but I found a lot of supports along the way. Good people again that kind of buoyed up that basic belief in the goodness of humanity, in spite of what I saw all around, especially with the big city. I mean, there's some real horror shows of a lot of violence in these spots. But notwithstanding that, I never lost that little sparkle of belief and faith that people found fundamentally good people.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I loved just to hear that piece of just reminding us of how much life is just this journey. It's this journey in space. You talked about being 27 and then being sick in your early 50s, and now you're here, and just this journey. And one of the cool things that I've just got an opportunity to, is just to have a space with you guys. I've met Al here at the Tall Rabbit. I met Grandpa Al at City Life. And so you guys are in the community, you're active in that way. What kind of impact has that had on you? Be it that you're at the City Life Center or you're here at the Tall Rabbit, what kind of impact has that had?
Well, it has this type of impact on me. First of all, I go back to my childhood. I see now where my parent, which like I said, my dad, he was bootlegger. He was just like, I am a mechanic. Well, he was a mechanic and a bootlegger. He made blues. And my grandmother, certain things me and my sister couldn't do. She was 2 years old than me. It was at certain time of day. We had a little grow home down in Savannah. She'd get up on that top step. And Granny would have a home cut park, home car pipe in her mouth, smoking a little pipe. When the clock hit certain time, we was on that bottom step. She was like a god over her son's children. Certain things we couldn't do. I had to go see the house, all the little games. We run around certain time of night. We couldn't do it. We didn't know why, but that was the grace of God that put it on. And so she had a loving family. We love each other on both sides. One grandma would go to her house visit. That's when I got my coffee from. She'd always, my one grandma had to put her on a pot of coffee. Put her on a pot of coffee because she won't drink all day. And she talked to us, and then she'd show us, we took it up to see her living and how she lived. And see, that's all on a bunch of kids. But I know I was always, because the way I know my dad and my sister, and I loved my sister. When I came back to Fort Wayne, you couldn't even, I had to be the backbone for my sister. Because our brother was just a girl, just being her. And you couldn't, not around me. And then she passed. You can't do it now, really. But I'm too old to say anything. But I'll be watching. And so, like I said, it was just and Fort Wayne has been a good city for me. But like I said, when you grow up in New York City, you've been all over, so it's nothing new. And you know, there's all kind of people and all that structure. But where I came from, somebody taught somebody to do something that worth doing because it made a good life for me. And if I left here today or tomorrow and had to go, I'd probably go. I'd stay right here because I know everybody here. It's been a good city to me. And that's about it.
Well, with respect to this particular place, this is an amazing concept put together by Tony Hudson. Tony. And I think the South Side really needed something like this, kind of a place where people could gather comfortably and easily, be at ease with each other. And Tony's gone a long ways to help to create that environment. He's really spirited that made it happen. So, as it ties into community, I think this is an example of how that basic idea of Tony's can blossom and grow. We're having this discussion between us human beings about what our lives were like, and all kinds of things that could probably raise different get-togethers like this. And you know, it serves a wonderful purpose. So, you know, I've met many people here. I lived in this neighborhood for a few years. I've been here about 6 years. Moved out from, I lived in Oregon the last 5 years. Not the West Coast. So I moved out here. She bought this little chicken shack in the house. She bought it. Sight unseen. I mean, the banker on the West Coast was having a heart attack. He couldn't believe it. He said, "Don't do it. Don't press the button." She pressed the button. So she bought this little house down. So I've been here for a while, and it's been an interesting stay. You know, I haven't been a city that I've seen in general, both South Side and citywide, grow and develop a lot in the last 6 or 7 years. But this addition, this little community here, a little coffee shop that's blossomed in the middle of all of this growth and change in the past 5, 6 years is a real blessing, I think, to this neighborhood. I feel very comfortable talking about and bragging about Tony and his what he's accomplished to help for these things to happen.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. I want to take this time now to offer our audience, if they have any questions for these two owls, please let us know. Drop them in the chat. Well, both of you kind of talked about having people, sometimes having different opinions. What do you guys think is the best thing that we can teach people when it comes to something like that? When two people are not agreeing about something, what do you think is the best thing that we can tell them, when it comes to something like that?
Well, no. See, you have to show yourself. Everybody can talk, but see, people watch you. And like I said, I ain't holding nothing back. But sometimes it scares me because I didn't know I was that good at showing the way I am now. Because anybody told me I've been doing what I'm doing now. And like I said, I always have respect for ladies because I guess with my grandparents, my grandmama, they still love. But I always But the thing about it, if you want to be cool with me, I know, and I'm in the little, I got a little girl over there where I'm at now at the center. I don't know what, it's just something about her personality. It just took over on me because she's the sweetest child you can see. And I don't know how, she's not that old, but she's over there at the center of everything. And her personality and the way I just knew, and I did to myself, and I dreamt about that child a couple of times, just the way she is, and the way her accent is, everything is sweet, she's very calm, quiet, and you know, it's no, she's just real quiet, and it just took my heart. I know somebody I said, I'd like to meet her parent, because they instilled in her because she's very quiet and manly. And she's every day she comes in and do her work. And she said, I need help. And she that, but you know, and I always would, and God will always have somebody, because that's in my field and place her. You know, but I always have somebody that can talk to. You know, I point out to the teacher that you can talk to. And it just blesses me so, because like I said, I was always, I only had one sister like that. She still with it, but I got out of here. When I came out this part, I had, you know, like I said, I had a big change on me. Which it wasn't too big a change because grandma already built that in me when we raised it. But anyway, I just enjoy my age now. 80 years old. It just gives me a joy every day to go over there to the center. Because these kids, young boys, young guys come up every day and they would embrace me. Grandpa, that's grandpa. Man, he was. Grandpa, that's grandpa. But see, it made me feel that I had two sons. And they gave me boys and the girl. And it's just, I'm living the life that I enjoy. Because I've heard about it, but until you experience it, you know, you just, and you think the old folks, I said, listen to your parents, them dads, because God put people in your life. But boys, like I said, because we had the thing our way. The boys, and, you know, your dad, and I got the young folks, you'd be surprised. I have to stop some of those guys, load me up and stuff. I can tell they must talk to the parents, talk to the children. Because them young boys keep me with everything they need. Like him. Them young boys, I don't even know what they probably, they just scared and brag on me to the little kids. And I can't get over there enough and don't have enough time. Because they just show their love to the children. And that's why I say you just respect everybody and treat them right. And I got a pastor. But he's my pastor now. But he's the same way. He like put tears in my eyes the other day. He's a young man. He was out of here years ago. And I knew his daddy. And I never knew his, I knew his daddy, boy. I knew him because daddy worked, do the type of work I did. Mechanic work, with two jobs. So like I said, it's just, you have to show yourself who you boy yourself. That's all I can say. You show yourself. Because it'll work out in the long run. It'll show up. Like the old folks say, show up. It will show up. And you can, people watch, people see you. See, it ain't talking about this. And kid, well, you can't play a kid. See, you have to teach him so we can reach him. You don't plant corn and expect green beans. So what the kids see at home, that's what they do. And that's what they're, and it's like I said before, ain't nothing true for the food. And the Bible full of food, read Proverbs. Because it has to go somewhere. So just all I can say is be yourself and treat everybody like you want to be treated. And this is a different generation. This generation here, you can't base it on your upbringing. Because you take a lot of people as hard growing up. And you only know the truth what you know. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't really know nothing, you can't teach them. But you can also reach him. You can teach him by reaching because it doesn't change, it doesn't take anything. Anybody can change. And we all go through to get to. So you go through here to get to that coffee shop. You have to go through that door. So yeah, you have to go through to get to. I don't know what life is. You know.
Did you have anything?
Well, I just wanted to add one thing. I know in raising my daughter, I learned that I learned it the hard way. I learned it. I'm getting there slow but sure. It's not so much what you say, but words are important. Choose your words carefully. It's how you make that person feel.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
When they walk away, you're proud as a peacock because you made your point, but you said it in such a way that person is shutting down to you for a long time. And I'm going to forgive you until you said it right. Until you said it right. And in these long-term relationships with children, you're going to have a long time to think about what you said, didn't say right, and continue on to make it right if you can. But how you made that person feel is a very important point of my learning. So, while I'm talking, I'm saying, I've got something to say. I think it's logical and clear. But if I'm like, it comes across like do it my way, or I know better than you, and I got to filter my words and my tone back into my own head as it's coming out. Because if it comes out the wrong way, forget it. And then that's probably a lot to do with much of the conflict in the world. Is how we made that person feel that has held that grudge for a long time. Sometimes it can be more complicated. So sometimes you project on somebody you don't even know, and all of a sudden, I don't like that. But stuff got away because it's much more fun for the big human being. First impressions, that's for sure. I think. Anyways, learning the hard way. I had a lot to do with spending a lot of time with a child. So far, so good.
That's good. That's good. Well, I appreciate you both sharing, because one of the things that you kind of both kind of said is that we're going to be learning, and it's going to be hard sometimes. It's not necessarily an easy journey. It's not an easy path by any means. There's going to be some setbacks. There's going to be some opportunities for growth. And so just taking them head on, and continue to find that space to learn. So as we end our time, guys, I want you both to, it's a phrase, it's a one line, what's the one thing that you guys, want to say to just to say here?
I just want to say I enjoy the program, and I'm like, see, that's one thing we gotta understand. I don't care how old you get, you never too old to learn. And I like I said, in this whole. See, we all built, God lives in each one of us. I don't care how you call it. There's a God in you. See, God made you, like He made everything, these things that we like, He made everything the way He wanted it to be. Everything is made for Him, by Him. So we gotta keep that in mind. And nothing, we make nothing ourselves. It's all made by God, for God's people. And we can earn to learn. And we can learn if we listen. Like the Bible said, be slow to speak. Listen. It's like the children over there where I'm at every day. I listen to little boys and little girls. And it's nothing, like saying nothing food for the food. But you take I've got so many little boys. They come up to me through the day. Just to seek a little wisdom and stuff. I had a guy come over there, put tears in my eyes yesterday, because he was trying to tell me, said, you know, he did follow some things that we talked about as men. And he was talking about he was progressing, you know, things he was glad to do, the conversation we had. And it makes me feel good. And like I said, you know, if you listen, because see, years ago we had this stuff, boy, you can't sit down, you know, don't have to be. Don't tell me about to sit down. Kids listen to you, and they watch you, and they learn, and the Holy Spirit put into them just what they need to come to me, because you can teach them to reach them. You can get through to them some things that their parents can't get through to them because they won't listen. So, like I said, enjoy being. I've been on the program for 18 years. Because like I said, I was out there fast. Because I worked every day, but I was always auto technician. But I worked out there with kids, you know, just being a adult. But I wasn't always what you see. Anybody told me that I've been doing what I'm doing now. I told you, crazy. I wasn't me talking about life and what I know. But see, as you go, you grow. Yeah. And see, they're listening to me now for listening to their parents, because I sit down and listen to them. And I sit down and listen to the dad. And I got stuff. Them dads shower me with stuff that I didn't know that I had them. But the dads give it. And I know it, but they don't work nowhere to buy it. But a lot of stuff comes from them parents. They think enough of me. Let the little girl or little son take that to grandpa. And that made me feel good. So I have to let it go at that. But like I said, I'm just telling you what I'm learning as a grown up. So don't ever think you too old to learn.
Too old to learn. That's good.
Well, probably the biggest takeaway for me is just one of the lessons I've learned that stuck with me for this whole life is that underneath all the travail and sadness and upset, the whole thing, I for some reason kept the belief and been proven, I think, more than not, that humanity is basically pretty good. You know, sometimes it's going to be a big fight to stand up to that basic belief. It's not an easy road, and you have people that are hurting, and they turn on against you and on you, and so on and so forth. So there's no guarantee that it's all going to just be a happy trail at all. But even notwithstanding all that, I still have belief that people, if you take the time to get to know them a bit, it will work out. It will work out.
Yeah.
And you know, it'll be a better life for it and a better community as a result. And I'll back to the kids a little bit. One of the, besides my experience with my daughter, I was a teacher, and I worked with little guys for years. And I think that experience went a long way to bolster that fundamental belief that you get children when they're very young. I mean, unless there's real abuse going on in the family, some crazy stuff happening, most children just love life.
That's what I love.
No, and that to me, that some of those little kids were the greatest teachers.
Oh,
Just presenting to me, worldview that says, no, you don't have to do it. Just be like me, look at life, be happy, see the colors, see the little Sally over there. She's alone, and then we'll talk. And all of a sudden, they're best friends. All kinds of models out there to help you believe in that.
No, that's awesome. That's so cool. Thank you so much, both of you, for taking this time and sharing with us, just these tidbits of life. Again, everyone, this is a conversation. This is a conversation, but what we take from this is, some actionable steps around our life and our journey, which is acknowledging people, which is knowing that we can continue to learn through life, and it's making those connections and knowing that there's going to be hard times, but we can still get through them. So this is it for today. Thank you again for tuning in. Until next time. Peace.
Hey.
Thank you, guys.
All right.